White nationalists are calling people that are not white undeserving minorities, while Christian nationalists, kind of one and the same, they're saying that they are the most upstanding citizens in America. Let's go to the first video.
There is no racism in this country. The only racism that is happening is against whites. They hate white people. They're replacing white people. They attack whites. It's time for whites to stand up. It's time for whites to be proud of who they are, to embrace their heritage, embrace their history and understanding of what it means to be a white man in America. The fact that you and your heritage and your ancestors, they built the modern world. They were pioneers. They were explorers. They were construction workers, miners. They were the educated. They were the influential. They were the philosophers and scientists of a bygone era. We must never forget that, and we must be happy with that history. There's no reason to pollute it or attack it or mistreat it. Myself, as a white American, I'm very proud of my history. I am proud of the country that we built. I am ashamed of where it is going and who is taking it over. Undeserving minorities. I mean, are you going to say that's racist? Okay, sure. Undeserving minorities taking over this country.
Privileged white man doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay, so let's play that game. Since you highlighted your ancestry, dear sir, I will highlight some other dynamics. The people you're referring to were also murderers, slave owners, rapists, colonizers, thieves. That's for the record. Okay, in addition to this bold claim by Dalton Claude Fettler, that's his name. Dalton, who is a known white nationalist, he shares this sentiment about white people being the greatest people in America, period. He believes in white supremacy. There's also this new thing called Christian nationalism, which is basically the same thing as white nationalism when you actually look under the hood here. So here's what two Christian nationalists said about who they are.
And I know in our country right now, they keep telling us, Laura, that Christian nationalists are the terrorists. Christian nationalists are at risk. You know what we do for our enemies? We pray for them.
We're supposed to.
But we actually do.
I'm still working on that.
No, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to pray for our enemies, but we do it, and that makes us different. We're the most upstanding citizens in this country.
Yeah.
Most upstanding citizens in the country. Let's put up all of their pictures full throttle here. First of all, every single person that committed an act of terrorism on January 6th claims to be a Christian. Many of them subscribe to the ideology of Christian nationalism. As a matter of fact, the white male terrorists that have engaged in actual acts of terrorism against the United States and against others and killed many individuals over the course of decades, 92% of them claim to be Christians. Isn't that something? All right, but the best citizens, America, you say. Those individuals, let's put them up again. That's Edward Saul and Lauren Witzke. So let's talk about the first comment from Dalton Claude Fettler, or Felter. Mirrors the great replacement theory, a motivator for recent terrorist attacks. That's what it is. In May, an avowed white supremacist killed 10 people at a Buffalo grocery store. Police say the suspect intentionally targeted Black Americans on the basis of their race. As with the recent mass shootings in El Paso and Christchurch, New Zealand, authorities say the suspect explained his actions in a screed that draws heavily from the great replacement narrative or theory, a racist theory that maintains native-born whites are being intentionally displaced as ethnic minorities in their nations. Now, this has been a talking point of the KKK for decades. The KKK, they have used this in their literature, their ideology, their speeches, and on record comments. They have called it the replacement theory. They have referred to it as such. And now people like Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, and others have adopted the same language as the KKK in their opening commentary on their news programs. White supremacists, the greatest terrorist attack known, according to the Department of Homeland Security. White supremacists present the gravest terror threat to the United States, according to a draft report from the Department of Homeland Security. 2 later draft versions of the same document, all of which were reviewed by Politico, describe the threat from white supremacists in slightly different language. But all 3 drafts describe the threat from white supremacists as the deadliest domestic terror threat facing the United States, listed above the immediate danger from foreign terrorist groups. These individuals want you to believe their people, the terrorists, are the most upstanding citizens in this country. They are already framing the narrative to provide a pretext so that they can then give you the context. That's what they're doing. All right, dear brother, thoughts on this?
He'll probably call me racist for saying this, but Dalton Kleinpepper is a very white name. But what do I know? My name is Jeff Wiggins. So when he said all the things, well, that white people have done and contributed to this country, he forgot to add, and Dr. Richey, of course you did, he forgot to add, killing everybody and the genocide. But what is interesting is he didn't go into detail about how white men are oppressed or suffering under racism. He didn't talk about denied access to healthcare or loans or employment or college or land or houses, none of that. He just said it because he's seeing more Black, brown, and Native people, and that's oppression to him. Yeah. That poor victim.
See, when you are accustomed to privilege, equity, and equality, looks like oppression, as we say.